So unfortunately, all my video files got another big old corruption, and I lost all my audio files and all that. But in this video, we're going to be reviewing the Command and Trooper versions of the Halberdwomen, along with one of the heroes, which we're going to see here in a bit. It's going to be a little bit of a boring video, I think, because all the snappy stuff I usually do is no longer there. But more or less, the boxes came in a timely manner within a week. It was fucking insane, and I loved it. They came well packed, as they always do. Setting up for the unboxing here, I think I just have a whole bunch of just staring at boxes, because I was doing something here important, and it's no longer there. So. Now I'm getting to the unboxing. As y'all can see, everything was packed just as well as always. Raging Heroes always packs away their models the best way I've ever seen any company do it. They have like the gold standard for like just for packing away things. Got your usual cards, how to wash your models, all that good stuff. They have yet to forget a single one of these. They've been consistent forever, and I just cannot keep singing their praises. There's also one of the packs where I ordered at a certain time, I guess, and I got a free consecrated sister in one of my roles, which was quite interesting. So got a little bonus sister that I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with. I was like, oh, I got a bonus thing. All right, don't know what I need it for, but it's a mystery consecrated sister. I guess I can use it for something. I had also gotten a mixed pack of light gray and dark gray resin. I prefer the light gray now because it's easier to cut and it bends instead of snapping. So I really wish they had the money to do injection plastic molding, but I know it'd be an astronomical cost at the detail level they're doing, and probably lose a lot of the details as well. So it's kind of a shame. And there's a lot of flash on these particular. On some of the spurs of this particular model set, but they still look really good. A lot of the details really lay in the bottom part, the leg parts. I was quite surprised to see that a lot of intricate details went into the legs. Like they did a lot more singular plates on these legs, and a lot of hard angles and a lot of cloth going on. The halberds I found a little annoying because they were all warped and bent, and I had to do a lot of hot water cycles to get them to how I wanted them. The faces as well. The faces reminded me of how like a more refined style of the old Games Workshop Dark Elves. It had the same like motif going on. A lot of shaved heads, a lot of ponytails, but these didn't look as blocky and ugly as the old Warhammer Dark Elf heads were. So I really enjoyed how these looked out of the box. Getting into the dark resin. The dark resin held up a lot better than the light gray resin in transit. A lot of things stayed on the sprue, a lot less flash. The gray, I think, has sharper details, but it's harder to cut and to reheat and shape and bend than the gray resin. So it's kind of like I really wish they would get consistent resins on their model. It seems like you get one or the other, or a mix of both. I think it's kind of an age thing, It's one of those silly things. Nice little standard there. The standards weren't warped at all, really. They're pretty solid, so really helped out there. This is the command figure I got, Silkeriss. Basically, it's this big old fancy command model I really wanted for my Halberdwomen. It's flashy, and it's just really cool looking, so I decided to get it. And pretty affordable too. I wish she had like a regular sword arm and not like the mutation arm. But what are you gonna do? Still pretty good looking model. Packed tightly. Came in its own little baggie, so they're consistent as always with their packing. As you can see, the main body is kind of one big solid piece. Here's the head. The head has these nice little wings on it and fringes and spines, and looked really, really neat. Really liked how it looked out of the box. I was really super excited to see such a cool head. Like I wanted this model just for how just because of the head looked cool. The body is a heckin' chunker of a resin piece. It's where most of the bulk, weight, and rigidness of the model comes from, is this big cape and body piece. It is monopose. It's supposed to go together in a certain way, so I didn't like that too much, but it's a very, very fanciful model, so I'll give it a pass this time, you know. The sword is huge. The mutation sword is a little bendy, a little flexible. I can see this little sword thing here on the far right just peeling off paint, because it's going to flex and fleck off paint. I just know it because it's bendy. But, you know, what are you going to do? I started a new process where when I start putting it together, I do it in high light conditions, but also I get a little bit drunk doing it to see just how hard it is to put together. I decided to do this because, you know, anyone can put a model together on their best day. You know, I want to see how hard are they to put together when you're inebriated, to help, you know, simulate young kids trying to do it, older people trying to do it. You know, I want to make it a little bit difficult for myself. So I'm trying to decide here how to put the glue in. Then I realized something. I realized, oh, it's a 2-part leg. This is where the inebriation comes in. You know, you forget things. So I was like, oh, it's a 2-part leg. Damn. I'll do that before I put that big glue part in there. So I'm sitting here fussing with it, and I'm getting mad. I'm like, ugh, 2-part leg. So I go in, I start cleaning stuff off, and I start dry fitting with glue. So, like all those glue's all dry, I gotta reapply the glue, so I get it all put in there flush. And I get glue in there, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna glue the leg in now, and I get a little bit of glue in there, grab that second leg piece, do a little bit of try to say, maybe use a pair of pinchers, make it be easier. Like, no, not easier. So I just go back with my fingers and kind of like place it and kind of scoot it, scoot, right where it should have been. The arm, this was a trip. Drunk guard bro putting his arm in really said how some folks may get a little bit stumped by how the particular models put together. I thought I could like do like a nice little flashy pose and have it go down. And then I'm thinking, you know, this doesn't look all that right. Doesn't look good. Looks a little bit odd. I don't think this is going to work that way. I don't think it's going to work that way. So I ended up having to go back and look at the picture of the model, and oh, it goes behind her head. So here you see drunk guard bro go, you know what? I don't want to do this arm anymore. I'm going to do the other. I'm going to go ahead and do the other arm. So I start fussing around some more. I put a little glue in there. And this is also very thick super glue, so it doesn't run down anywhere. I put in the mutation arm. I'm like, let's do this one. There, that arm's done. You know. And I'm like, all right, I gotta figure out this arm. I'm gonna do this arm. And I'm looking at the picture online, and I'm taking a little more sips of vodka here and there. At my shot glass. And I finally figure out that it's gotta go behind her head. So I follow the instructions, and I get it done. And there you go, behind her head. You know. Next is one of the Halberdwomen. Drunk Tom forgot to turn the camera on, putting the head on, but the head went on as a normal head would. It went on very well, very flush, without any real scrapings going on. Had to go in and clip off some of the sprue marks. That's about it. A little hole on top of their head for the ponytails. You can put a little drop or two of paint in there. Little drip drop, off you go. So once that ponytail's all set inside there, I'm good to go. I move on to other pieces. This is a 2-part halberd piece. Also, as you can see, under some of the armpits on the ball and socket, they have it didn't quite come out as it should have. So there's gunk in there. There's gunk in the hole. So you gotta go in, and what I did was I cut out the big bits and then drilled out and re-drilled out the hole so the arm could fit in there. This is a very, very annoying little thing that I didn't like having to do inebriated. Should have done that while I was sober, but I got the job done, and now the arm can more or less kind of fit inside there a little better now. And then additionally with this model, it falls on the same line as the old Games Workshop Grave Guard, where you have 2 arms and then 2 hands attached to the halberd, as you can see here. So you gotta like coordinate the arms and the hands together and not jack up your model pose. They can see I'm like, alright, I'm professional, I can do this. So I go in there and I'm trying to figure it out and repose the hand. While the glue is still wet and thickening, I kind of like ghost set where I want it to go. It works somewhat a lot of the time. So I'm like, how do I want this to go? And I'm thinking of how I want it to fit in the in the unit itself. I want to go out, want to go up, so it can fit behind people. I didn't have any sticky tack, and didn't feel like using sticky tack. I had no real way to dry fit. I could have used green stuff if I wanted to, but green stuff, you know, it's a curing time and it's bulky. So I was like, you know, some folks don't have green stuff, some folks don't have sticky tack. I want to do it how I think someone else would do it. I'm going to go in there and try and bullhead it in and make it work. So as you can see, I'm just doing a whole lot of fussing. So end up, I'm like, all right, I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to pin it in place right there. Come on, same place. I'm like, So I decided to put a little bit of glue on the hand and try and glue that arm onto there. And as you can see, it's not it's a process. I'm like, all right, I can get that right there. I can get the arm. Nope. There goes the halberd. Okay, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm still professional. I can do this. All right, arm moved. That's fine. So I'm still like just trying to work it on there, and eventually be able to get it set and get it how I wanted it. And voila, there we go. A little bit of glue there to help the hand set. And yeah, there we go. Yeah, got it done. So after I got all those done, I got all the others put together, and I got the whole squad going. That musician right here, that musician is an absolute turd to put together, because there are there's two very thin connection points for that horn, and it is an absolute roar to do. Let me tell you, it is a pain in the ass getting that horn on there. Everything else put together just fine. I like how Silkeriss sits in the middle, all grand, and the other ones kind of give her space. The one-legged poses are instrumental to making this thing work. Let me tell you. You might be hearing guineas. You might be hearing the guineas in the background. Guineas are doing guinea things. Just ignore them. But those one-legged poses are instrumental in making this unit work, because you can put them on either corner in the center and twist them back and forth and make sure they give you all the room you need. Most important thing I believe out of this is to make sure everything can fit. So a little bit jumbled, but these units do fit together quite well. I got the halberds kind of sitting in dynamic poses, but they all kind of fit together and have their own little space, except for Silkeriss. Silkeriss needs that standard bearer and the girl behind her, so she has space. Yeah, see how it looks there? So those two units those three will always go side by side. Those three will always be side by side. No matter where they are, they'll always be together, because they give each other the space they need for the commander to look good. You know what I mean? To make that commander look saucy. It's just how it is. But overall, I would say this is a little more difficult of a model set due to the fact that that horn is an absolute piece to put together, and the halberds require a little more doing, because it's a three-part process. 2 arms and the halberd. You gotta get them to work together, and you gotta get them to pose correctly. So that's an absolute, it's hard to do. It's hard to do, folks. So, but yeah, this looks really good. It's one of the best looking models for Dark Elf females on the market, I would say. And yeah, that's it. There we go. So until I see you next time in the next video, keep a strong dice hand out there, and happy wargaming.